Somewhere in Thailand right now, there's a man standing in a convenience store who's got no intention of buying anything. He's not lost. He's not waiting for anyone. He hasn't been sent in for milk. He's just cold for the first time in 11 hours and he ain't ready to give that up yet. And if you've spent any time at all in Thailand, that man's you. The plan was simple. It was so simple, it barely qualified as a plan. Buy water, pay, leave. 3 steps. A child could do it. A child has done it, right in front of you. In under 40 seconds, while you were still stood in the doorway making a noise like a man being lowered into a bath. The doors open with that little electronic chime, and then it happens. That wall of cold comes down over you like a blanket, and something in your chest just lets go and your shoulders drop about 4 inches. And your shirt, which was wet, is now cold and wet, which is a completely different sensation and honestly one of the great ones. It's medicinal. You can feel it going down your spine one bit at a time, and you make a small involuntary noise that you'd be genuinely embarrassed to hear played back. And right there, that's your plan dead. You don't decide to stay. That's the thing. There's no moment where you weigh it up. Your legs just refuse to carry out step 3 and some older, deeper part of your brain. The bit that kept your ancestors alive quietly takes the wheel and goes, "We live here now." Stage 1's legitimate. You're technically still shopping. You've picked up the water. You've even looked at it. You're a customer. You're behaving normally. Nobody could accuse you of anything. But you don't go to the till. You drift, just slightly. A little sideways float towards the crisps, because it's on the way, sort of. If you take the long route, which you're now taking for no reason you could explain in a court of law. Stage 2's where the lying starts. You're reading things now. You're stood in front of a wall of instant noodles conducting what looks like a serious comparative study. You're turning packets over, checking the nutritional information, as if you're going to look at the sodium content and go, well, that's settled then. You can't read the label. It isn't in a language you understand. You're looking at it anyway, with the furrowed, faintly troubled expression of a man reviewing a contract. You put it back, pick up a different one, same flavor, different size packet. You compare them. Stage 3 is the herbal aisle, and stage 3's a full commitment. Nobody ends up in the herbal aisle by accident. There's no route through that shop that takes you past the medicated balms and the menthol inhalers unless you've gone looking. And you've gone looking because it's tucked round the back, away from the windows, and more importantly, it's directly underneath an aircon unit. So now you're down there in the cold spot, holding a little inhaler tube, turning it over in your fingers like a jeweler. You're gonna buy it. You've decided. You're definitely buying it. You won't buy it. You've never bought it. You've held that exact product in 14 different shops across Thailand, and it's never once made it as far as the till. Stage 4 is the fridges, and stage 4 is shameless. You're now stood directly in front of the glass doors with one of them open, studying the yogurts, which you don't eat, releasing an amount of cold air that's currently costing that business actual money. You know it. She knows it. Everyone in there knows it. The cold's coming out of that thing like a physical object, and you've decided the yogurt situation needs a bit more looking into. And then there's the hot dogs. You don't plan for the hot dogs. There's a machine near the counter with sausages on it, going round slowly, going nowhere, glistening under a warming lamp. And at some point in your visit, you'll find yourself just watching them go round and round and round. It's 38 degrees outside. Nobody on this earth is hungry for a heated sausage in 38 degrees. But there's something hypnotic about it. 2, 3, 4 full rotations you'll stand there for, gently entranced, and a small part of you starts genuinely wondering about them, their lives, how long they've been on there, whether they're the same 4 sausages that were on this morning, or whether there's been a changeover at some point. That's when you should leave. When you start humanizing the sausages, that's your signal to leave. You've been in there too long. You check your phone. 90 minutes. The water you came in for's gone warm. You've been carrying it round that entire time like a passport at an airport, lifting it slightly whenever anyone walks near you, as if to say, I'm buying this, I'm a customer. This is a transaction in progress. It's left a ring of condensation on your palm. You've walked it round that shop for an hour and a half, and the shop's roughly the size of a decent living room. And it's at exactly this moment, of course it is, that you look up and make direct eye contact with the woman running the shift. And here's the thing, she ain't angry. Angry you could handle. Angry would have been over in a second. It's worse than that. What's on her face is recognition. Calm, complete, entirely unbothered recognition. She's seen this before. She sees it every single afternoon. There's a version of you in there every day between 1 and 4, a slowly rotating population of damp, grateful foreigners orbiting the sausage machine. And she stopped finding it interesting years ago. You're not a customer. You haven't been a customer for over an hour. You're a tenant. You're subletting a 2-meter patch of tile floor underneath an air vent, and you've paid absolutely no rent on it, so you do the only thing you can. You buy some mints. Nobody in the history of the world has wanted mints less than you want those mints right now. They're gilt in a small plastic box. They're a fine, that's what they are, and you both know it. You do the little smile, the apologetic one, the one that says, sorry, yeah, I know, thanks, I'm going now. And she gives you nothing back, because she's a professional. Then you turn and face the doors. You've got to genuinely prepare yourself for it. A little breath, squaring up, because they slide open and the heat doesn't wash over you. It hits you smack bang in the face like a jab from Mike Tyson. It's not weather, it's texture. It's like opening a preheated oven and then for some reason climbing in. 2 steps out and every bit of that cold's gone. Completely. Like it never happened. Your shirt reverts. Your shoulders come back up. And you're stood there squinting down the street, sweating, holding a bottle of warm water and a packet of mints you'll never open. And about 200 meters down there, on the right, glowing gently through the heat haze, there's another air-conditioned store. And you know exactly what you're about to do. Thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. Cheers, guys.